I don't go into the woods after dark anymore. Not after that night. My dad's coat was heavy on my shoulders. Old canvas and wool, worn thin at the elbows. It still smelled faintly of the wood smoke he loved so much. The kind of smell that wraps around you like a memory you can't shake. He'd worn it for 30 years. I'd only started wearing it after the funeral. Some part of me thought, if I had the coat on, maybe I could hunt like him. Maybe I could be like him again. The coat felt heavier that night than it ever had before. Not just the weight of the fabric, but the weight of everything it stood for. That night was my first time alone. Just me, the rifle, and the moon. I picked a spot 50 yards off the trail, downwind from a clearing where I'd seen deer before. The earth beneath me was soft and damp, the needles of pine crunching faintly underfoot. I sat on a fallen log, rifle resting across my knees, the cold air stinging my cheeks and creeping through the thin leather gloves I wore. For a while, there was only the night. The whisper of wind through the branches. The soft croak of a distant frog. The faint rustle of leaves skittering over the forest floor. The way the moonlight pulled in the clearing, silver and pale, like spilled mercury. It was peaceful, almost. And then it hit me. That feeling. Like someone had stepped into the clearing and locked eyes on me. I couldn't see them, but I knew. You ever been in a crowded room, and felt someone staring? Not just glancing, really staring, like they're looking through you. That's how it was. It didn't go away, minute after minute, it only got worse. The hairs on my neck stood up. My hands slicked with sweat on the rifle stock. My heart thumped loud enough I was sure it echoed in my ears. My breath came short and sharp. I told myself to stay calm, to be patient, that it was just nerves, or maybe an animal. But I knew I was being watched. Finally, I told myself I'd move. Just 50 yards. No big deal. I stood carefully, slung the rifle, and moved slow. Each step deliberate, careful not to snap a twig or crunch a leaf too loud. The forest floor was soft but uneven, roots twisting like snakes beneath the thin blanket of pine needles. When I reached the new spot, I crouched behind a thick stump, trying to slow my breathing. My heart still hammered against my ribs like a trapped animal. 5 minutes later, it came. A shape slid out of the tree line into my old clearing. At first, I thought it was a man. But it was wrong. It moved wrong. Hunched low, like it didn't want to be seen. Its arms were too long, swinging loose at its sides with a jerky, unnatural rhythm. Like they didn't belong to it. Its head was bald, pale under the moonlight, like the skin had been stretched too tight. It sniffed the ground where I'd been sitting. Slow, deliberate, like a dog searching for a scent. Then it tilted its head back. I thought, here comes a howl. But instead, in the darkness, a woman's voice cut through the silence. High, clear, terrified. Help, I'm injured. I gripped the rifle so hard my knuckles went white. If I hadn't seen it myself, I would have sworn there was a woman out there, trapped and scared. But I saw it, and I knew. I backed away, step by step. My boot caught on a root, and I stumbled. Dad's coat snagged on the thick underbrush. In a panic, I shrugged it off, leaving it tangled in the sharp thorns. As I tore through the thicket, branches clawed at my face and arms, tearing my shirt and scratching my skin raw. I didn't realize what I'd done until it was too late. I glanced back over my shoulder. The thing moved into the new space I'd been standing. It sniffed again. This time, it lingered. And when it spoke, my blood turned to ice. It was my father's voice. Gravelly, calm, the voice that used to call me in from the woods as a boy. Son, over here. I broke my temporary paralysis and turned and ran. Branches whipped my face and tore at my skin. The forest floor disappeared beneath my feet. Roots snagged my boots, leaves and mud slicked underfoot, but I kept moving. The voice came again behind me. Son, help, I'm hurt. Closer now. Somewhere along the way, something slipped from my pocket, my wool cap. I knew the second it hit the ground, but I couldn't stop. Couldn't turn back. Then I heard it. My own voice. Perfect. Help. I've been attacked by an animal. I didn't look back. Not once. The trees began to thin. The moonlight stretched out ahead, revealing the worn dirt road. My truck was there, headlights dark in the night. I fumbled with the keys, hands shaking too badly to be steady. Got inside, slammed the door, locked it tight. The silence pressed in on the windows, heavy and thick. I took a deep breath and turned the ignition. The engine roared to life, a lifeline in the dark void. But just before I shifted into gear, I heard it again. My voice. Soft. Just outside the glass. Come back, I need help. I slammed my foot on the gas and tore down the dirt road, the trees blurring past like ghosts in a nightmare. That's why I don't go into the woods after dark anymore. And if you're ever out there, and you hear someone calling for help, you'd better pray it's human. Thank you for hanging around until the end of our tale. Every view is appreciated. If you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button and considering commenting and subscribing.